Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is July the 16th, 2017. This is your home of original cryptocurrency news. I come up with my own shows. I don't take ideas from reading the mainstream Bitcoin press. I'm just living the life here. And I am in Australia, in Brisbane. I am in Perth, Australia. I'm going to leave for Brisbane very soon. I'm going to go to the airport in an hour, and it has been very exciting, Perth. Yesterday, I spoke to 60 people at the Perth Bitcoin meetup downtown, and it was just incredible. I want to say that you can email me at adam@tresorhelp.com if you need a cryptocurrency consultation, if you need help setting up your Trezor, or if you want to set up just hanging out in Brisbane. I will email all of the Brisbane people back who have been emailing me when I get to Brisbane. Today is a very busy day for me. It's a travel day, so I'm going to be behind, and I'm going to try to make this video really fast. But yes, yesterday was very exciting in Perth. And I want to say that this is going to be my second domestic flight outside of the United States or South Africa. This is an Australia to Australia flight I'm about to take. So that's a little different. It's great. You don't have to worry about your water and all the crazy international rules. But it's weird that you don't take a lot. If you're from the US, well, you don't take a lot of domestic flights in other countries. Anyway, back to yesterday. Great times. It was great to meet Nicola, a viewer. It was great to meet other viewers. It was great to talk, just get the perspective of the Bitcoin people in Perth. They had questions that dealt with the same kind of questions you read here. They knew who Andy Hoffman was. They knew who Tone Vays was. A guy brought up Bitcoin Litecoin, the famous trucker who has videos, who has been on my show before, who's a great guy. Pound that like button for Bitcoin Litecoin. And pound that like button, people. That's the slogan. Someone in the crowd told me they were going to yell out, pound that like button, but they didn't. But no, someone asked me about Cliff High. And I, of course, gave my opinion, and I talked about doom porn. It was fun. I wasn't really even scheduled to speak, and I ended up being up there for like an hour, and it's taped, so it's going to end up on YouTube at a certain point. I wish I had it now, because I would have just posted it today instead of doing this video. I'm in such a rush. So, but anyway, thanks a lot, Perth. Thanks a lot, Fundi, who lives here. He has been a great help to me. He's a great guy. Again, the ladies who hosted the meal on Saturday night are awesome ladies. Two of them came to the event yesterday. And everyone at the event, please, email me. It was beautiful. They've got a great thing going on here in Australia. And can you guys beat Perth? I don't want to leave Perth, man. This place is great. This place is great, man. This is just, everybody back in the U.S., you gotta travel around. You gotta come down here and stuff. It's high quality living. So let's get into the situation here. What do we got? This tweet here by Alistair Milne, and that sets the tone for this for today's video, that we're back. It says, welcome back to the end of May's prices. And I thought, that's kind of funny. I talk about having a long-term perspective. You got to have a long-term perspective back into the past too. You can't just live week to week here. And less than 2 months ago, this was the price of Bitcoin, whatever. It's like $1,900 right now. So if you put it in perspective, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if you told me at the beginning of May, it's going to be $1,900 as we approach the FUD dates of August 1st and all that craziness, I'd be pretty happy. So again, we're going to have people, there are going to be people out there that are going to be like, oh, it's crashing and it's on its way to 300. Okay, everyone's got a right to give their opinion. I got to say again, in Australia, People were very positive. There were and again, people were asking about ICOs, and people asked about SegWit. People asked about it, but again, it doesn't. You don't get that panicked feeling. That people weren't panicked, and there were newbies there, and there were veterans there, and there were, you know, some people asked about their favorite altcoin, and it was a good experience. So the miners, you know, everyone's going to have to get used to it. Every day they're going to be trying to pull off these leverage plays, okay, where they release a story that they're not doing X anymore, they're not doing Y, they're doing Z instead. So every day there are going to be all these leverage plays from various players in this game, just trying to position themselves for people to take their bait so that they hope that what they want to happen will happen, that people will fall into their trap of believing their threats and pulling them in their direction, gaining leverage over the situation. So you got to remember, like, don't like get caught up in every press release, in every statement, because you're falling into the trap of their leverage play. And they're trying to manipulate you to go down a certain path. So what this channel has been about the last few weeks is not to get tricked by these leverage plays, not to buy into every story and follow every, like, well, now that one's switching to bit this, and this miner is switching to bit that, because you're just getting sucked into their storyline. So don't stick with your clear path here. Not to panic. User activated soft fork. We're going to have turbulence in August. Let it play out. If you let it play out and don't add leverage to some of the bad players in this, it's going to play out just fine. But if you contribute to the panic factor that they are trying to create, it's just going to be harder. The turbulence is going to be worse. So that's, I mean, you know, Tone gives his technical analysis. Jimmy San gives his analysis of every technical minutia part of what they're saying. I'm giving the psychological analysis out there, okay? The games that are being played. Again, they're these are shrewd businessmen out there, all right? So they're going to do every dirty trick in the book. What you have to do is psychologically get yourself strong and not fall for these tricks, and just not worry, and be a long-term thinker. And if you can't stop worrying, then perhaps you should just take a vacation from Bitcoin, maybe for the next 3 weeks or a month, and take a real vacation. Go travel around the world or something like I am. I mean, again, or just, you know, watch these videos and just gain confidence from knowing that a person like me, who is way into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and has built a major part of my life around it. Obviously I have investments in it. Obviously I have a consultancy built around it. I'm making friends. I'm traveling because of it. I'm just, so a guy like me is just traveling around Australia. I'm right now in Perth, Australia, which is the furthest big city from Baltimore on earth. I could be no further from home as I am now. So that's how, you know, not concerned I am about these things, that I'm a long-term thinker. I know, you know, it's going to clear up. We're going to have issues in August. We may have issues again in November with these guys trying to pull this stuff off. It's just, you got to get yourself psychologically strong here. So back to yesterday again. That people, I think I mentioned, people asked about gold and silver. I did mention that. So I wanted to play, and and there were, the people here had the understanding also that you don't have to be just a gold and silver person or a Bitcoin person, or you can be both. And people were familiar again with Doug Casey, they brought up Jim Rickards, you know. So it was great to say that, you know, Cliff High was a joke in front of a live audience. It was a good feeling. Good feeling. Pound that like button, people. So here's another tweet. And these tweets, technically chance of chain split is low, crisis news PR. is best opportunity for investors to low price buy Bitcoins, forcing users to sell. All right, so that just addresses what I just said. So I'm not going to say if investors and speculators are bad players, but some of them are jumping onto this, and the leverage they're trying to create is they're creating fear, so the price goes down so they can collect the Bitcoin for cheap and then sell it back to you for more later. And in that tweet, if you click on it, it elaborates on that. You should click on it. But here's a tweet that explains the pure FUD that has already been sent out there. Flippening, contrived Bitcoin dominance index, AstroTurf meme pool spam and full blocks, supposed technical debt due to SegWit, all rubbish. And that's correct. All those things I said are rubbish, but those are leverage plays that have been sent out by various players, bad players, just to create an atmosphere where they're going to benefit, where they're going to try to get their way, either extend the status quo or get their version of Bitcoin created that's highly centralized, or whatever they're trying to do. I'm not even I don't even care about what these dudes are trying to do. I know user activated soft fork is the leverage that we're using, that the SegWit, the true believers in Bitcoin, the SegWit, the decentralized believers believe in. So cryptocurrency total market cap got down to $66 billion. I bring this up because all of the altcoins have gone down, well, all the major ones at least. As Bitcoin goes down, they've all gone down. In fact, they've gone down more, and people have gone into Bitcoin for safety. It's not going down as much as some of these other ones. Now, the situation with Ethereum is separate. I mean, they're having a different issue. They're having a bad day, a bad week, a worse time than Bitcoin lately. In terms of Bitcoin, they have dropped. I mean, they went down below 0.08 for a bit. But let's just address altcoins in general, because a lot of people said, when the day of reckoning will come for Bitcoin, and the altcoins will surpass Bitcoin, and people will flee into the altcoins. Well, that's not. People are clearly fleeing out of cryptocurrency because of the fear that has been created, or the FUD that has been created around Bitcoin. So, I mean, it's playing out, at least it's playing out that way now. I mean, people theorize that, like, oh no, Bitcoin will go the way of the mammoth, and something else will take over. And no, it's either Bitcoin's way or the highway, it looks like. And that's what I was saying. I have said for a while, if Bitcoin goes away, if Bitcoin breaks, all of cryptocurrency is going to break. Something isn't just going to, there's not going to be a new standard here. We're going to have a big problem. So again, the altcoin people who cheer on the demise of Bitcoin, which I think has definitely decreased lately, there shouldn't be many of them. I think there's a lot of people are thinking logically now, like, all right, you know what? If I'm cheering on the demise of Bitcoin, I'm hurting my own investment in Dash or wherever. So, and it's funny I brought up Dash. Okay, so I was going to talk about what Ethereum is down. Oh, and there's no need to bring up why. I mean, it's obviously the ICO stuff. There's who knows. It's just it's doing worse lately. Again, so the ICOs finally. So people have been talking about, have been bringing up ICOs to me, whether it be online, here in person, and there seems to be a certain naivety out there. Naivety, however you want to pronounce that. I have a Baltimore accent. Sorry. There's certain people who are getting into the ICO stuff that they have experience in cryptocurrency. They're just, they know it's just a pump and dump. They want to flip and everything. But there's certain people who are that are incredibly new to the space. They've just heard about this ICO thing. Maybe they think, oh, it's a new IPO. Just jumping right into it before they even own any Bitcoin or any Ethereum. I mean, they don't even know really what Ethereum is. And they just want to get in ICO. And it's true. Everybody and their mother is creating an ICO. And there's really no reason for most of these people to have ICOs. It's getting a little strange. Some of the stuff, I don't want to pick on anyone, but some of the stuff that's been presented to me recently has been absolutely ridiculous. But the way I phrased it during my speech yesterday, and it just came from the top of my head, if you're going to get into this ICO stuff, at least here's a good first step, people. Own some Bitcoin and at least, have sent Bitcoin before to another address. All right. That's your first step when you're getting involved in any cryptocurrency. Before you buy an altcoin even, make sure you've practiced. Like, you bought 0.01 Bitcoin and you sent it, like, so you can understand what this is even all about. Because there are, and I guess I'll conclude the video that way, that I think over the last 2 months, we've gotten a lot of people into the space who had never a Bitcoin, a piece of a Bitcoin, and never sent a Bitcoin. They sent maybe some cash to an exchange somehow, or got someone to do it for them, and then they start buying at the exchange. They start keeping the various altcoins at the exchange, their ICOs at the exchange, whatever. They haven't taken that. I mean, and it's a glorious step when you've gotten your first piece of the Bitcoin and you send it somewhere and you understand, you see how what the transaction is all about, and that I just sent $5, I just sent $10 over. It's a good feeling, and it's an important first step. And I think, again, over the last 2 months of irrational exuberance, that a lot of people are missing the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth steps in all of this, and maybe all of this turbulence is gonna clear that out and make people think a little bit more about what they're getting into, and I think it'll help the space in general. So anyway, I hope I covered everything that I intended on covering today. Let me really just check back there. Yeah. All right. So I'm Adam Meister, Australia. I am so pumped for you. I'm pumped to be in Brisbane in a few hours by the end of today. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. Pound that like button, people. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. I post a new video here every day, even when I'm about to jump onto a plane. Thanks a lot, everybody, and subscribe to the channel. Bye.